Hi everyone, we have a big poll that we need to discuss. It's coming out of Emerson Polling. There's a lot to unpack here. It's quite a interesting poll. We're going to be taking a look at how each of the different candidates are doing. So, right now, this Emerson polling, Joe Biden is in the lead at 25%. Elizabeth Warren in second place at 23%. Bernie Sanders at her heels at 22%. Then quite a bit of a drop before you get to Andrew Yang at 8%. Pete Buttigieg at 6%. Kamala Harris at 4%. And then all the other candidates are at 2% or less. So there is a lot to unpack here. So firstly, we just need to get one thing. Let's just first run down all the things that are really popping out to me in this poll. So number one, Joe Biden has slipped a lot. He's at 25%, down from 31% earlier. He's just at 25%. Second thing, Warren and Sanders now right at his heels. Warren is 2 points behind Biden, Sanders 3 points behind Biden. That is very interesting, to say the least. Third thing, look at Andrew Yang. He's in fourth place. That is very, very impressive for someone like an Andrew Yang. Over Pete Buttigieg, Kamala Harris, Cory Booker, Julian Castro, Beto O'Rourke, Tim Ryan, Tulsi Gabbard, Joe Sestak, Marianne Williamson, so many other people. He is ahead of senators. He is ahead of governors. He is ahead of mayors. He is ahead of so many other people who really Andrew Yang should be behind. So Andrew Yang at 8%, that is massive. Fourth thing that we need to talk about, Kamala Harris at just 4%. Fifth thing we need to talk about, where is Beto O'Rourke? He's at 1%. He's clearly slipped. And final thing we need to talk about, everyone here, from Beto O'Rourke all the way down, need to drop out now. So let's take a look at this poll one thing at a time. So firstly, we need to take a look at Joe Biden. Joe Biden has slipped a lot. He has gone from, let me just see, he's still averaging 29%, but he normally is at 30%. Now he's down to just 25% in this Emerson poll. That is very interesting. Elizabeth Warren, again, right at Joe Biden's heels, 23% for Elizabeth Warren, 25% for Joe Biden. It is going to be interesting to see who can pull this thing out. Elizabeth Warren has seen a steady rise. We can see here, Elizabeth Warren has gone from 6.1%, dipped a bit. She has slowly risen up to become a dominant force in this Democratic primary, right at Biden's heels. Bernie Sanders is another thing we need to talk about. Bernie Sanders right at Elizabeth Warren's heels. This is a three-way race. This is within the margin of error for Bernie Sanders, Elizabeth Warren, and Joe Biden. Very, very interesting, to say the least, how Joe Biden is just 2 points above Elizabeth Warren and 3 points above Sanders. When he announced 41.4, I mean, you do the math, but that was a very, very big lead. So it's really interesting to see that lead narrow and narrow and narrow, and now it's pretty much a three-way tie in effect in this new Emerson poll. Okay, so that's the top three. Joe Biden still in the lead, but barely holding on to that lead. Elizabeth Warren right behind him. Bernie Sanders right behind Elizabeth Warren, and relatively close to Joe Biden. Within this margin of error, actually, it could be the case that that those three people could be interchangeable. So Andrew Yang, next thing we need to talk about. Wow, I mean, that is very impressive. He's gone from 0% up to sort of 1% in the in some of the polls released earlier this year. He maybe scraped 2% after he made the debate it the first time, and then since then it's just been 3%, 4%, and then just go up to 8%. And it's very, very interesting, to say the least, how Andrew Yang is in 4th place in this Democratic primary. The media cannot laugh at him anymore. There's no more excuses about Andrew Yang. And, you know, I thought it was very, very poor on how, on the debate after Yang said his opening statement, how some of the candidates were just laughing at him, which I thought was incredibly rude for them to just sort of laugh Andrew Yang off. And again, you know, the media as well has a role to play in this. They don't include him in some graphics. They just don't talk about him. When they do talk about him, it's sort of just like, Andrew Yang, Andrew Yang, it's sort of like a laughing sort of person. So there are no more excuses. Andrew Yang at 8% in 4th place in this Democratic primary. Pete Buttigieg holding steady at 6%. Yang has surpassed Pete Buttigieg. Yang has surpassed Kamala Harris. Yang has surpassed Cory Booker. Yang has surpassed Julian Castro, Beto O'Rourke, Tim Ryan, Tulsi Gabbard, Joe Sestak, Marianne Williamson. He's surpassed Amy Klobuchar, who's a senator from Minnesota. He's surpassed governors like Steve Bullock, and it's just very impressive. Next thing, Kamala Harris. Right now she's at 4%. That is not good at all. I mean, if you look at this orange line, she started at 10%. She slowly did slip. If we try and, I wonder if it'll let us do that. Okay, so when she announced on January, she got quite a bit of a boost. She went up to 12.3%. Then she slowly sort of slipped down. And then, boom, she goes up again. Whoops. Boom, she goes up again after that first debate. Then it's a slow and steady decline down. Oh, whoops. How do we... there we go. Slow and steady decline down into 5th place in this Democratic primary. So, yes, Kamala Harris's drop is real. It is actual. So it's going to be interesting to see how she does. Next thing, Beto O'Rourke. Where is he? He's at 1%. That's not good at all. I mean, I assume he's not in danger of missing the next debate, but I mean, we could be getting to a conversation where, he might not make this next debate, and that's going to be interesting. Beto O'Rourke right now at 8%, and then he went up to 9.1%. Then since then, it's just been a very, very slow and steady decline. Now he's at 2.6%, so it's going to be interesting to see if he's able to recover. Next thing, actually, I think that's it, other than the following people need to drop out. Beto O'Rourke needs to drop out. Tim Ryan needs to drop out. Tulsi Gabbard needs to drop out. Joe Sestak needs to drop out. Marianne Williamson needs to drop out. And then all of those other candidates need to drop out. They just really need to be moving out of the way so that we can get an actual Democratic primary between Biden, Warren, Sanders, Yang, Buttigieg, Harris, Booker, and Castro. Then after that, again, Cory Booker's got to go, Julian Castro's got to go. So then we have that top 6, and then we should be able to move on from there. That's it for today's video, guys. Thank you for watching this video. Comment down your suggestions below, and I'll see you all in the next